Vitelloni, Vitelloni. How come all the time I've been calling them Vitellini? I guess I don't know Italian as sure as I should. I seriously have to figure out a better opening. But anyway, hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here with number 246, Federico Fellini's I Vitelloni. See, wouldn't it be cool if they were called I Vitellini? Fellini, Vitellini, you know? Anyways, a disclaimer for those of you who haven't been paying attention to the last couple of reviews and wondering where the hell Port of Shadows is. Well, I had the VHS tape, but broke it. And so I may have to pay for it at the library, and it really upsets me. And there are no other copies, because it's out of print. Criterion doesn't have it on Hulu or anything like that. And I tried to find an online version of it, and I'll try again. I mean, maybe I'll find something else, you know, but right now I can't find it anywhere. So for now, the plan is I'm going to buy it sometime later this week, and we'll get to it. Hopefully it'll come like hopefully before or like right after. By the time we're done with the John Cassavetes box, so that may be the last review we do for the year. But yeah, so anyway. But for now, we're going to move on, because I want to get crack-a-lacking on these. I Vitelloni, Fellini, there you go. And it's not a bad one. This might be the best one he's done without Messina in it, you know. 1953, 107 minutes, black and white, normal, Italian, yeah. So, this movie is about 5 guys who live in this little town, and they all have dreams of getting out, bettering their lives, and all that, but you know, there's like they kind of just kick around and just, you know, just they're kind of a gang, young men and all that, and so it's yeah. So anyway, there's 5 guys. There's I'm trying to remember their names without looking them up. There is who's the Fausto. I was trying to like the opera. What's the opera's name? Fausto. Fausto is this guy who's basically a skirt chaser. He is like he gets married to this girl in the beginning of the movie, and you know, and only because she's pregnant with his child. Her name's Sandra. Sandra's pregnant with Fausto's child, and so he ends up marrying her. At the same time, he keeps flirting with all these women and pisses her off, and yeah, pisses the family off and all that. There's Alberto, who's like basically just this, you know, guy who lives at home with his mom and his sister Olga is like dating this guy who's married, and he really is upset with that. There's Leopoldo, I think Leopoldo, who's this screenwriter, or he writes plays. He has dreams of like, you know, making big on the stage, and then there's Moraldo, who's the youngest of them, and he is basically just the most level-headed. He's the one who, like, you know, I think he's the most normal of them all probably. He's like, you know, always doing the right thing, and like he's very gullible. He tends to be kind of gullible at times. He tends to believe a lot of what Fausto tells him, as I'll get to that later. And then there's the baritone guy, the singer guy, whose name I can't remember. What is his name? Does it say? It doesn't say it on here. Let me look up the list here. What is his name? Ricardo. And yeah, so we don't really get a lot of Ricardo's story. So I'm gonna just basically he's a singer, and that's all I get out of him basically. Same time. So anyway, so they just go around. They play pranks on the town. There's a scene much later in the movie where it's like the best example of them, where they're like, you know, they're driving by these workers, these blue collar workers or something like that, and they're driving in their car, and he gives them, one of them, Alberto I think, gives them the you know, sign, which is basically, you know, fuck off, you know, to them, and they look on as they drive off. However, about like only part way down the road, after he does it, their car runs out of gas, and so they scramble off. The workers, you know, chase after them and beat them up, and they get away, and yeah. So it was a little. So it is a comedy. This is a comedy. Fellini did make a comedy from this movie. I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, there's a party. What's his name? Fausto. Fausto's father sets him up in this like antique shop. This antique shop, and so he works there with his boss, and he ends up falling for his boss's wife after he sees him at this carnival. Sees her at this carnival, so he ends up flirting with her, and she, obviously doesn't want anything to do with it, and so he ends up getting fired from his job after he finds out about him flirting with his wife, after the boss finds out, and but Fausto ends up telling Morello, that she came on to him. And that's the story that he tells, his boss. I mean, he tells the father finds out because I remember now. The Fausto and Morello try to get revenge, or more Fausto gets revenge on his boss by stealing this angel this wooden angel painted in gold, and trying to sell it to this church. He tries to sell it to a monk. And he ends up giving it to this like beggar who just puts it on the beach and just stares at it. And so anyway, Fausto's father finds out, and so he ends up telling him, he ends up confronting Fausto. The father confronts Fausto about the theft, as well as the sleeping with trying to sleep with his wife. And Sandra hears it and gets all pissed, and she ends up running away with their baby, and it isn't until now if Fausto finally comes clean, and basically he says, he tries to find her, and so that's later on. Apart from that, Alberto gets drunk at the carnival and finds out and gets all upset when his sister Olga ends up running away with the married man, and then Leopoldo, the screenwriter, goes to see this actor's play, this actor he really wants to work, Sergio, and they have dinner together, and with all the gang, but these women come in and like start dancing and singing, and Leopoldo wants to keep reading his play, and everybody, all the friends are just like sitting dead, like, oh, this guy, I love this guy, but he's just so annoying, and all that. Oh yeah, and then there's an actress. Yeah, Leopoldo flirts with this actress too, who lives like his neighbor, and it's the actress. It's Fausto's affair with the actress that causes Sandra to run away. That's what it is. There's so many little details in Fellini's movies that I'm just trying to get back to them. But anyway, Leopoldo and Sergio get together, and Sergio's really digging this play. And so they leave, and they walk, and he's telling them, dude, we're gonna play. I'm going to call the actress, and we're going to do the play. So they go out to the beach, and Sergio's like, come down here. Come down on the beach. It's like, it's kind of dark down there. I know. Come on down. Come here. Come with me. And we'll be alone. And Leopoldo kind of just like sits there and just like his eyes widen when he realizes what Sergio's asking him to do, because Sergio is kind of he's he wants Leopoldo's ass, basically, for lack of a better term. But yeah, so that's basically that. So Leopoldo's dreams are shattered. Alberto's dreams are shattered because their lives are kind of disheveled, because Leopoldo can't work with the actor he wants because the actor wants Leopoldo. Alberto loses his sister. Basically loses his sister. Now Fausto does eventually catch up with Sandra, and they reconcile, and they hopefully have a new life. Hopefully he's going to they're gonna he seems like he's finally made up. On the way, he ends up running into this woman that he tried to flirt with at a movie theater when Sandra was sitting next to him, and she's like, and now she's like, let's come go out, but he's like, no, I've got to go find my wife. So it's like he even turns down this really beautiful woman that he flirted with earlier. totally changes his mind. So he's really dedicated, and hopefully he will have that life. However, our movie ends with Morello, who's basically just kind of disillusioned with, who's finally the only one who to do something about his life. He leaves. He leaves on train, and he doesn't know where he's going to go. No, although I think he mentions Rome. And yeah, that's basically it. And the movie just ends with Morello being the only one of the 5 of them to do something about his life, to get out of town, you know. And that's about it. I'm surprised. This is actually a really good movie. I mean, this is a great Fellini movie. I think some of it is the coming of age story. As you know, I love coming of age stories. We've had a lot of great ones in the Criterion Collection: George Washington, Ratcatcher, My Life as a Dog. But it reminded me a lot more of, you know, more current ones. And apparently it was Vitelloni. See, I'm doing it again. Vitelloni was, you know, part of the inspiration for a lot of, you know, more coming of age stories of the 70s and 80s, like American Graffiti, Diner, St. Elmo's Fire, you know, like ensemble kind of, you know, movies, where it's like, you know, you have a bunch of guys, you know, in this little town, and they're kicking around. They're not sure what to make of their life, and so they just kind of stay. They have to make a decision. Do they move on with their lives, or do they stay here and just, you know, basically stay here and rot, you know? And this is where kind of it all kind of stemmed from. I think this might have been the earliest example of that type of movie. And I love that formula personally. So, you know, this one wasn't bad. Now I don't know how memorable it is. I mean, it had a lot of real cool imagery in it. But I'm still kind of particular toward Messina Fellini. Messina Fellini. I mean, at least I think La Strada is still my favorite. You know what? We ranked Renoir the other day. Let's rank Fellini. Let's rank Fellini for a minute, because I'm just curious. I want to see like I think we've had more Fellini than we've had Renoir. Definitely. Oh, we've definitely had more Fellini. Let's see. How many have we had? Let's look up the list. Oh yeah, Amarcord was first. Amarcord, Knights of Cabiria, and The Ship Sails On, Variety Lights, 8.5, Juliet of the Spirits, White Chic, La Strada, and I Vitellini. So that's 9 so far. Of those 9, I still think La Strada is the best. I still think La Strada, yeah, I definitely think La Strada is the best. If I had to rank them, I'd say La Strada. But you know, honestly, this one was so good that I wouldn't mind getting this one, I Vitelloni. So La Strada is still the best, but I think after that would be I Vitelloni, and then Knights of Cabiria, top 3. Then Variety Lights. Gosh, what's after that? After Variety Lights would probably be the White Chic. And then White Chic, then Juliet of the Spirits, and The Ship Sails On, Amarcord, 8.5. I'm sorry, just 8.5 just sucked. I couldn't stand that one. And there's a little part of me that kept telling myself, you know, Fellini didn't do 8.5. That was Antonioni or something like that, you know, and you know, Antoncini or one of those other directors. No, that was Fellini who did 8.5. Oh, jeez. But anyways, yeah, 8.5 was just pretentious drivel, you know. So, but you know, stories like La Strada, you know, Strada had, you know, if I had a top film, it had to have Messina, because Messina is just such a beautiful actress, and I'm in love. Boom, 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 boom. And yeah, I can't say anything more about it. So yeah, La Strada is still my favorite. But we've got more. Let's see how many more we have. Yeah, the White Chic, La Strada, I Vitellini. Do we have any more? Oh, that's it. Oh my God, that's our last. Well, that's our last film until La Dolce Vita, and then Fellini Satricon. So we've only got 2 more, and that's not till the 700s. So it's going to be a long time before we see another Fellini movie, and that's crazy. I mean, unless we have something in the Eclipse series, which I should have been checking. I know we have. I don't know if he has any others in the let's see if we have any in the Eclipse series, because I am doing the Eclipse DVDs. I do really want to do those. That series, like the collections they have, are very interesting. And nope, no Fellini. So yeah, so we only have 2 more. That's crazy, and it's not gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long time before we see them too. So yeah, so I guess this is it for a while. So for the next 5 years, La Strada is gonna be my favorite. How about that? But yeah, for Vitelloni, great movie. Rating. I'll give it an A-. A- because I really wanted more of the 5th guy. Whose name I can't remember, the tenor. Fernando? No, Fernando. What is that tenor's guy's name? Baritone. What is his name? What is his name? I'm seriously looking up. Ricardo. Ricardo. Can't remember his name. Anyway. So yeah, A-. I wish it had a little more Ricardo, but, you know, still a fantastic movie without. Supplements. There's just basically a 35-minute documentary called Vitellonissimo, which is just documentary that Criterion made for the DVD. Basically features, you know, a lot of the surviving actors. Franco Interlenchi, who played Moraldo, and Leopoldo Triste, who played Leopold. I believe he played Leopold. Yeah, Leopoldo Triste, who played Leopoldo, and then Moraldo Rossi, who's his assistant director, and just his biographer, friends, you know, that kind of thing. And mostly focusing on, and these are cool because, you know, because Criterion made them, they know that they interview these, you know, these people, you know, knowing that they want to focus on I Vitelloni, you know, the movie that they're introducing for. Whereas, you know, with the other things that Criterion brings in, the archival, they're usually more broader biographies, and, you know, they talk about a little bit about, and that's why Criterion sometimes just does excerpts, you know, because those things run on so long. They just want to focus on, they just want the bits that are focused on the movie that they're included on, you know. And that makes sense. But when Criterion able to make a little documentary about the movie you're watching, you know, they don't do half a bad job, you know. I still think still think the best making of documentaries are those Akira Kurosawa It Is Wonderful to Create series. But yeah. But anyway, that's it for me. Yeah, but no, if it's Vitelloni, A-, great movie. And that's it for today. So Wednesday, Slacker. Yep, freaking Slacker. And then Thursday, Videodrome, and I'm hoping to do something a little different with this one, as I've mentioned. It might just be a straightforward review, but let's just say I may not be alone. Let's just leave it at that. And then Saturday, the Battle of Algiers, and that'll be it for this week. And then of course next week we got the John Cassavetes box set, taking a break off for Christmas, of course. And then week after that we'll do Concept Forge, and then we'll get to the and then hopefully Port of Shadows as well. Then we've got 2 more Robert Altman movies, which I'm just like, oh God, after 3 women, I'm just like, oh God, I don't know. But these might be better. It might just have been a weird movie that he did. It's just, I mean, because we got what are the Secret Honor, Tanner 88, and one called Fat Girl, which isn't an Altman movie. Fat Girl I'm having trouble finding, so that one I may have to purchase 2, and that one we may have to skip ahead past that one for the time, because I don't know if I can afford both Port of Shadows and Fat Girl. At the same time, I looked at Fat Girl and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this one. Port of Shadows. I mean, Port of Shadows, Gabin, you know, looks. I mean, Marcel Carn. I think Marcel Carn. The only other Marcel Carn movie we've had was Children of Paradise, I believe. And yeah, we've only, right? Oh no, that's Marcel Camus. I thought Black Orpheus. Holy crap! No, that's Marcel Camus. No, Children of Paradise, Port of Shadows, and Les Visiteurs du Soir, which is 626. So yeah, so we've only and Le Jour se libre, which is part of the Essential Art House set, which I don't know if I don't think I'm ever going to get to those. That just isn't as interesting. The catalog numbers aren't as, I don't think there were any catalog numbers, so I'm just going to say. But anyway, yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't cheat on your wife with women you meet at movie theaters. Don't, and I don't know, I can't think of it. And don't stay in your towns too long. Make an effort to get out. Because you never know. You may miss your chance at at truling out. It's like sometimes you never know where there's like a gap. It's like there's a point in your life when this is that point where where you could get out and make a new life. And if you miss, and if your life travels along this point and you don't get out during that point, it may be too late. Because once you're past it, you're stuck there forever. So yeah. I don't know if that was a good moral or anything like that, but it sounded good, and I'll stick with it. Anyway, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on Wednesday for Slacker. And until then, goodbye.